the recording. Okay, very good. Thank you. Good morning, co-banker George. Nice to see you. Monday morning today, suddenly cooled down a little bit, so that's good. And I hope you enjoy your weekend. There was, the Olympics already started, and I have, I didn't have much chance to watch it yet, but I'm sure that I will this week or for the next 2 weeks actually. It's going to be interesting, and I'm always looking forward to the Olympics because that's the time I can kind of get away from the busy work and enjoy some interesting games and athletic activities. So I hope you can do the same, but don't forget to do some door knocking and marketing, because this is a good time to do business because over the summertime, that's the best best time to drum up some business because the people are not the kids are out of school and the weather's nice, and so catch up with your real estate work, okay? And if you need some help, we're here to help you. Michelle, Doug, and Anna, and all the office staff will be here to help you and navigate through the difficult time, what we call difficult times of real estate practice. Okay, with that, I would like to introduce all the affiliates today. Oh, by the way, Nicole is going to be our affiliate spotlight today. So she's going to talk about trust and and the what is it? Nicole, help me out a little bit.
Requirements, what the title companies require.
Okay. And okay, so I will first introduce the other affiliates, and we'll go, come back to Nicole. Okay. Thank you. Nancy, you go first.
Thank you. Good morning, CB George family. I'm happy to be here. Thank you, Peter, Michelle, and everybody. There's still business going on, and got a couple of calls this weekend that people are door knocking, and when they get a lead, they'll call me to see if I can get a property profile. So that means that people are working. It's hard, it's hot, and we get discouraged because interest rate. But Peter, we were buying at 12%, 14% years ago. So I just think that if you get your database together, and if you're not door knocking, at least call your warm people, the friends and people that you already have connection with, and talk about real estate. So they have questions. So let me know if you need help. Thank you so much, everybody.
And Nancy is nice enough to offer one-on-one tutoring on marketing. So that's a very good source of information from.
Thank you.
From Nancy. Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you.
All right, Sandy. Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. So Olympics. Someone I went to high school with is one of only 23 judges for the diving.
Wow.
So that's so cool. He's been posting from Paris, and it's just the coolest thing. How he's experiencing it and all that. It's really cool to see. Of course, when he's judging, it's 2 a.m. because it's Paris. So, but anyway, that's super cool. But Peter was totally right. These are your money months. This is where people who have to move because the kids are out of school. This is it. This is the time to be out in your farm. Get your farm stuff from your title reps. They're more than happy to help you with that, to make sure your farm is in the right tweaks or whatever you got to do to make sure it's not too big, and you're targeting the right people. And then I'll give you the tools to go out there, door hangers or the little baggies or whatever you need. And then when you get your open house, I have open house door hangers, so you can invite the neighbors to your open house, because your next listing comes from your current listing. Okay, this is easy stuff, people. We'll provide all of this. You got to do the hard work and go out there, but we'll give you all the tools you need to do the work. I'll put my info into chat. I am coming by the office tomorrow. If you need door hangers, today is the day to ask for them, because I'm coming to your office tomorrow. So call, text, email, Tomorrow's too late. Once I load my car and I leave for the day, it's too late. Get to me today if you want stuff tomorrow. Have a fabulous week, and I'll put my info into chat.
You're coming to the Alhambra office?
Yes, tomorrow.
Okay, how about the Arcadia?
I was there last week. Doug avoids me. You know, whenever I go by.
He avoids you? How dare he?
But,
I never avoid you. Get out of here.
when I go, you're not
I
there.
just been texting you pictures.
Oh.
I bring
I never
gifts,
avoid
I
you.
bring stuff. Anyway, yeah, I'll probably hit both offices tomorrow.
I love you, Sandy.
I love you too.
Okay, Sandy. Thank you very much. All right, let's go to John. How are you, John?
Doing great, Peter. Thank you. Good morning, Coldwell Banker George family. John Wax with Snap and HD Natural Hazard Disclosure Reports. And I'm going to just jump on the bandwagon. This is the best time to go out and meet the public. Yes, they are in transition. Yes, they're going to be going back to school very soon, but it's a great time to get out there, door knock, bring your water, bring some stuff that's informational, show you that you know what's going on in their neighborhoods and know what's going on in the market. The other thing I want to let you know is we are the only ones with the free renters report for your leases. We have that. And yes, there's fires going on all over the place. The latest one is the ones up north, which have been declared an emergency situation. And then the biggest thing right now that's been in the news is be due to land movement. So get your NHD, Snap NHD reports up front to know Palos Verdes. There 150, I think 100, almost 150 homes are being denied or being shut down from their SoCal gas because of the danger of land movement. Snap NHD reports have that information in there, like the liquefaction. It has the landslide and earth movement. So you should get that information up front. If you have a question regarding fire or flood, just text me, email me. I'm here to help you find out if you're going around with your buyers and they want to know if a property has that situation going on. I can check that, get back to you. It takes probably about a half hour, but I can get it to you. And that way you're best able to serve your clients. My biggest tip to you is have name recognition when you're going out there, and don't be a secret agent. Wear your badges, have cards, pens, appropriate documents with you, because you never know where the next deal is coming from. I bring you 30 years of experience. I'm here to consult with you and your clients. Thank you so much, Peter. And I'll be seeing you soon as well.
Thank you, John. It's just going into temporary, right?
What's that? It's a temporary. It's going to take time, but they have to reroute the gas lines. That's what's going on right now.
How long is it going to take?
Who knows? It's a gas company. You know what I mean? They're assuming they can get it done in like a 10-day period, but you know,
they're giving each homeowner $2,500.
Oh, they are
for the inconvenience.
Oh, really?
With only 2 days' notice, I'm not sure how good that does. All
but still, you know,
and take a shower or cook after today.
Yeah,
and they say the other utilities might actually follow suit. After this, they may end up turning off water and power to these houses as well. If if those pipes lay underground also in the same kind of area, these houses could be seriously affected and could be a while.
Wow.
Exactly.
I heard that the land is moving like 12 inches every few months. So it's really hard to be, how are you going to do that foundation if the land is moving? It is not
I think
one
they're going to
home.
have to move it way far away from the area and then like bring it in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if the land keeps shifting, they've got a foundation, they've got a land problem. So
it's going to be a big issue. There's going to be lawsuits. It's going to be a big, big mess. So if you are dealing with people who want to buy out there, be careful, get your report up front. That's the key. Make sure that you have a solid foundation to build on and keep your home steady.
Yep.
Wow.
Thank you. My information will be in the chat.
Interesting. Thank you for the information, John.
You're welcome.
Good. All right, Andrew, I haven't seen you for a long time. So how's life going on with you?
Hi, Peter. Hi, everyone. Morning. Happy Monday. I'm Andrew from Pacific Alliance Bank. Despite current higher rate of primarily 8.5%, but we're still looking for lending opportunities. So right now we're still actually we just hired a very experienced SBA underwriter. So any agent out there that has SBA lead, any SBA questions, give me a call. My info is in chat room. If loans funded and eligible, then we'll pay agent fee up to 1.25%. And again, we're not looking for construction, commercial, mortgage loans, and also SBA. We are your one-stop shop. So give me a call if any questions. Again, my info in chat room. Looking forward to talk to your agent pretty soon. Thank you.
Do you still do the commercial refinance?
Oh, yes, we do. But matter of fact, right now it's pretty difficult because of rate. And the problem we face right now is the DCR ratio. So, and again, if cash flow's there, LTV's there, then we will still do commercial loans. But right now, due to higher rate, not a whole lot of customers qualify based on current rate conditions. But we're still looking though.
What's the rate for the refinancing, commercial real estate?
Refinance depends on the property, warehouse, office building, also the shopping center, other stuff. But for warehouse, I would say real estate involved type of refinance, the rate might be range between from prime rate to prime plus 1%, more or less. And again, it all depends on the strength of the borrower and LTV, also the cash flow of such a property.
So prime rate is 8.25. So prime plus 1 is 9.25. That's way too high.
Well, did they lower the rate already? Did they lower prime rate? I thought it's 8.5 still. They haven't lowered the rate yet.
Yeah, they haven't. 8.25.
Right. So current prime is 8.5%, 8.5%.
8.5. Okay, 8.5. I'm sorry. So 8.5. Right. The prime plus 1 will be 9.5.
Correct.
Very high. Very high.
Again, for commercial lending, everything is negotiable based on board strength. It was the LTV of cash flow of such property. The problem we are facing right now is the subject property does not cash flow based on our requirement. Therefore, not a whole lot of commercial customers are qualified based on current market condition. But we anticipate the rate might be dropped, starting what they said in September, but we don't know yet. Hopefully, when the rate decreases, and then we have more loan lending activity.
Okay, well then, let's keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully,
exactly.
Low interest rate.
It's very tough. Yeah, very tough year for us. It's a lender.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So the affiliates other than Nicole, do we have any latecomers that like to present as an affiliate? No. Okay. Then let's welcome Nicole Manat from Fidelity National. She is going to talk about investing the title in under the trust and the requirements, right, Nicole?
Correct.
Go ahead, Nicole.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to take this time to thank Peter and Michelle for allowing the affiliates this special time each week to share specific information to each of our industries. And my goal today is to provide you with a comprehensive understanding of the process and the requirements involved in insuring properties that are held in a trust, and also share some of the frequently asked questions. And as you know, real estate is the biggest investment that you will make, correct? Why wouldn't you want to protect that? And we have conversations with people, we as we were saying, when you're going out door knocking, take a look at the vesting, how the individuals are holding title. Are they holding title as, joint tenants, tenants in common, husband and wife? If it's not in a trust, this is a perfect time for you as an agent to give them that information and knowledge to let them know, look, if you're not holding title in a trust, I suggest that you reach out to a real estate attorney, give them some names of attorneys that they can work with. So have this information ready to go, but be the individual, the agent that can provide value and help protect the homeowner's interest in their property. And so this is a crucial topic to share with homeowners. And even as real estate agents, if you don't hold your property in a trust, you need to reconsider, because I know a lot of people don't want to spend the money up front putting the property into a trust. However, later on, if something happens, then you're ultimately, or your family, your beneficiaries are the ones that are going to be spending the money on probate. So just wanted to share that with you. So understanding living trusts. A living trust is a legal entity that is created for individual or individuals for their lifetime, and it spells out all of their wishes, what they would like to do with their assets that they have, who they would like to pass it on to. And obviously with a trust, you avoid probate. There are 3 keys to a living trust. You have the trustor, grantor, the individual who created the trust. And then you have the trustees who are managing the trust. And typically those are the individuals that created the trust. Now, if a trustee or both trustees, depending on how the trust is created, if it's for one person or 2 individuals, husband and wife typically, or even partners, they can create a trust. They can designate a successor trustee, which is an individual or several individuals that can step in and act on behalf of those trustees. Okay, so again, you have the trustor, you have the trustees, and then the successor trustees that step in the event the original trustees that created the trust are no longer able to act or they've passed on. And then you have the beneficiaries, the individuals who benefit from the assets that are spelled out in the trust. So I have some common questions that are usually asked of myself, and I'm sure Nancy, you probably get these calls as well. Can I transfer or give power of attorney? The answer is you need to look at the trust. You have to look and see what this trust indicates, what it spells out. And remember, when these trusts are created, these are specific requirements and guidelines that the trustor trustees create, okay? And so first of all, if they want to give the option for power of attorney to be used, most of the trusts that I've come across in the 33 years, most of them do not have provisions in there for a power of attorney. Again, it depends on how you set that up with your attorney. And another common question is, can a trust acquire and convey interest in real property? The answer is no. The trust is an arrangement between the trustee and the trustor, and they act on behalf of the trust. And in loan situations, many of the lenders will not lend to a trust. So a lot of times you have to take the property out of a trust because the trust is not a person. So you have to take it out of the trust, and then after the loan is closed, then typically the property owner puts it back into the trust. So that is very important if you're working on transactions and the clients have to take the property out of a trust. Maybe it's a refinance. And typically this is when it does happen. You want to be sure that you let your clients know. Make sure that you prepare the deed, putting it back into the trust, because if you don't, and something happens to one or both of the trustees, then the property is going to have to go through probate if it's not put back into the trust. Now, if they don't put it back into the trust, there is called a hagstead. So they can go through a process. It's a probate, but it's a shorter period because the intent was there. It wasn't a trust. They took it out for the refi, but didn't put it back in. So just, very important to remember, if it's taken out, put it back in. Okay. What does a title company ask for when the property is held in trust? So if we're handling a sale transaction or a refinance and both trustees are still alive, we only ask for a trust certificate. If one of the individuals named in the trust is incapacitated, or if they've passed away, then we will ask for a full copy of the trust and any amendments, okay, along with that trust cert. And if they do become incapacitated, within the trust, it will spell out what is required. And typically we see that they request 2 doctor's notes. So you would need to have 2 notes from the doctors that are caring for the individual and basically spelling out the condition of that individual. Now, if they wish to step down, or they no longer want to act as a trustee or successor trustee, then we would require a resignation of trustee, okay? And these are most of the common questions. Another is, if there's more than one trustee, can only one sign? Again, we take instructions from the trust, and the trust must specifically give instructions for fewer than one trustee to act. Okay, so you want to make sure that you take a look at that trust. And a lot of times I tell agents, when you're sitting down with the client, you see that the property's in a trust. Even though as a title company, we don't ask for the full trust, I would still recommend, because all of that information is spelled out in there. And I know a lot of times the owners don't want to give the complete trust, and we tell them, you know, that's fine, because there is a lot of personal information in there, especially if it comes down to assets, bank accounts, jewelry, other personal information. So typically we'll ask for the first few pages where it names the trust, who the trustees are, who the successor trustees are, and then the section where it talks about the incapacitation, and also the last few pages with the signature and the notarization. So if they don't want to give you the complete trust, that's fine. You can reach out to myself or any of your title representatives to find out what the company would require. But in this case, I would recommend getting a copy of the trust up front. That way we can review it and see, make sure that we're working with, you know, the trustees, as well as when you're signing the listing, then you can see who's authorized to sign on behalf of the trust, especially if one of the individuals is deceased, okay? Are there any limitations on what the trust may do? The answer is yes. The trustee is limited by the provisions of the trust and may only act within terms of that trust. So they have to follow whatever's written in the trust. Okay, there's general provisions that are limited by the trust and are typically sufficient for us as a title company to rely on for a sale, conveyance, or refinance purpose. Now, recommendations to ensure that you have a smooth and successful closing, I would recommend that you reach out to your sales representative and find out exactly, you know, what would be required in certain circumstances. As I said, POA, because a lot of times we have individuals that are going overseas, they're not here, they're not able to sign. Take a look, or maybe somebody is going to be going into the hospital, having surgery. We've had that. You know, they could possibly sign a resignation for the moment or during that period, or they could leave it intact as is, because in the event something happens, as I mentioned, incapacitation, then they have the 2 doctor's notes. So the main thing here is to talk with your title representatives, find out what's required when you're dealing with the trust, and we will give you the guidance that you need. And, you know, it's important to familiarize yourself with these requirements so that you can navigate the complexities of the real estate transactions involving trusts. I mean, it's pretty simple, straightforward, you know, because we go off of what is written in that trust. And again, with farming, you can reach out to us. We can pull up properties that are not in a trust, and this is a perfect opportunity for you to have conversation with those homeowners and give them that information and knowledge and let them know, look, you purchased this property. This was the largest acquisition, and you want to protect it. You want to protect your family members as well, and avoid not only probate, but fighting between family, because within that trust, it states who gets what and percentage. This way, it helps alleviate some of that conflict, unfortunately, when family members or parents pass away. And I hope you found this valuable. And if you have questions, I'm here to help. And I appreciate the time to share a little bit about trusts and what's required. And if you have questions, please ask.
Yeah. Thank you, Nicole.
You're welcome.
We've been very succinct description of the trust, and it's very, very methodic and very precise. This is very good information. But I have one question for you. Now, if you are buying a piece of property under the trust, and you already have the trust set up and everything, you can directly invest the title in the trust. That's no problem. It's only when you refinance, right? With the original, the grantor on the title of the loan, and if you want to refinance under the original borrower, then you have to, if you have already put the trust into, trust the property into the trust, you have to take it back to the
individual,
the original trust, original borrower's name in order to refinance. And I thought you refinance, and then you can put it back to the trust, right? So that's the only exception.
That's correct. And honestly, Peter, it depends on the lender.
Yeah.
Some lenders do allow the properties to stay in a trust. So when they're doing a refi, they need to ask. And most of the time, if it's vested in a trust, then the lender will say, you know what, we will not lend in the name of the trust. You have to take it out and put it in your individual name and then put it back in.
Yeah.
So it's case by case. But yes, when you're buying, you can take title in the trust, and the individuals, the buyers, would take title as their name, and then they would sign comma trustee on their signature lines.
Right. You have to
Yvonne, I have a question for you. If you take it out of trust to get the loan, do they recharge you again the fees to put it back in?
Yes, because it has to be recorded through the county recorder. So they're collecting fees for the recording, and then
so it's like starting all over again.
Somewhat, yes. You have to pay for the doc preparation. You have to pay a notary, and then you have to pay the recording fees. So yes, you do.
Sometimes they charge the loan fee also, because you're refinancing.
Right. Right. But if you take it out of the trust, yes, you have to pay those fees again. You have to have somebody prepare it, then you have to have it notarized, and then it needs to be recorded.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more questions for Nicole? Very good presentation, Nicole.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Keep us in mind for your title needs.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Now, do we have any latecomer as affiliates that didn't make it on time that want to present to the group? Okay, that's good. Okay, if not, I will move on. Before I go into this listing and sales, I have a few announcements. For this week, we have the second session and chat GPT by Christy Connolly, which is this coming Wednesday at 10 o'clock, I believe. Right, Michelle?
It's a lunch and learn.
It's a lunch and learn. It's
so it's it starts at 1, but generally the lunch will start at about 12:30.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's 1 o'clock instead of 10 o'clock. Sorry, my mistake. But anyway, it will be a very interesting session. As you know, the chat GPT is a very powerful tool in the marketing and also you know, doing your documentations and real estate practices. Really, really useful. And this is the second session. She will go into more depth how to employ the ChatGPT in the practice of real estate. Okay, so I encourage everybody to attend. So Michelle said, it'll be a lunch and learn. You know, a little snack or luncheon will be provided in the training room. So I strongly encourage that you can come to the training room in person if you can. Okay. The second announcement is this Friday, Michelle will be going in depth with the commissioned compensation, you know, after the NAR settlement, and we'll go in depth in looking at those forms and how to do the compensation, buyer's compensation properly. Okay, so this Friday's training will be a very, very useful session. Don't miss it. And then, you know, last week I have been talking to a lot of agents, those agents that has trouble in getting new sales. You know, we talk about it, and some of them feel that they need some extra help you know, in handling the real estate practice. So I want to remind those people that we do have a mentor-mentee program in our office, and if you need it, talk to me, talk to Michelle. We can arrange the mentor for you if you feel that you need kind of hands-on training or hands-on you know, to a certain to a particular transactions that you have, and I think there will be it's a very good program to have, and you know, especially for commercial arena, you know, it can get very complicated at times, and you really want to know to get as much help as you can. Okay, so don't be shy. Just talk to me, talk to Michelle. We can arrange it for you. Okay. Now, with that, I would like to call Doug Meyer to see how the Arcadia office is doing. Doug?
Good morning, everybody. Just a quick reminder, like Peter just says, we have so much training and so much support for you. If you ever any questions, any problems, see one of us. We're here to help you. Really, we are. I know I get calls at night and the weekends. I don't care. I want to help people. That's why I'm here. So, okay, we have a few listings I want to talk about. Sharon Chow, who's been really busy, has got a residential sale on California Street in Arcadia, 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo for $695. Suki Husky has got a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, can be commercial or residential in Oak Hills. Any of you don't know where Oak Hills is, it's the very top of the Cajon Pass. You get to the top of the Cajon Pass, it says Oak Hills. That's it. Okay, $478. Alden Lai has got a residential lease on Huntington and Arcadia, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, $3850. And the last one is income property for sale in Alhambra on Sierra Vista Street, 4 units, $2,548,000. So things are booming here in Arcadia. Okay, a few sales. Baxter Lane in Upland, Ivy Chin, $650. Sharon Chow's got 2 nice ones. These are both brand new homes. Brand new homes that are referral. I'm not sure what the commission she got it, but I'm sure she did well. One of them, they're both in Walnut. One of them is $1,575,000. The other one is $1,872,500. So congratulations to Sharon. She's in here every day working hard. David Shee had a listing in Yorba Linda, sold right away, $972,500. And David Gow had a buyer in Rosemead on Earl Avenue, $1,060,000. And I just got a new listing just handed to me. Michael Chan, a residential sale in San Gabriel and Vista, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, $895,000. So you guys sell. Go out and get your listings. Continue to work with buyers, but listings is really important because you have that contract for 3 or 4 months and you don't have to worry about multiple offers because the multiple offers when you have the listing is a good thing. Okay. That's over and out, Peter. That's it here.
Thank you. Thank you, Doug. I'm glad your office is very busy.
We got people
I can
coming
see
in
the
all the
same thing
time.
for Alhambra.
Well, I brought a whole big box of ice cream in on Friday, so I think they're here for the ice cream.
Okay.
那个51号贷款那边需要title什么？他给我发了 email。
哦，who's
你 title 跟你的那个他贷款公司跟你联系了没有？
没有人跟我联系，都是跟你。
That did it, Michelle. Good job.
Peter, you're muted. Oh,
so I'm sorry, Doug. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Doug. Now it comes to Alhambra. We are not as busy as Acadia office, but we do have 2 listing and 4 sales. So the listing that we have is Carina with a lease, 2,000 a month. It's a residential lease, 2,000 a month in Monterey Park. And the other the sales is Ruben Galvant for the residential sale in Alhambra for 789,000. So congratulations. Very good. As for the sales, we have Alex. Hey, Alex, good, congratulations. You have the lease. You're doing more lease now, commercial lease. That's good. Yeah, I'm sure that you're getting a hang of it now, right? You have done some quite a few commercial lease already.
Peter, I'm sorry, I don't have a commercial lease. I did a condominium lease.
Condominium?
Yeah, I don't have a commercial.
What? Not commercial?
I don't have a commercial.
Oh, this is condo?
Condo, yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was a commercial because it was 62,400. So usually
because it's 2 years agreement.
What?
2 years agreement.
Oh, 2 years agreement. Okay. Good. That's good. That's good. And you get 3% commission out of that too, right? So that's good. And we have the next sale is Naka T, who sold a property in Pasadena for 1.5 million. Congratulations. Then Rosa Reyes sold residential property in Whittier for 740,000. The last but not the least, the Karina Pang double-ended residential lease for 24,000. So she get 5% commission. So that's good. So that's all the sales and listings that we have. Congratulations on those agents. Do we have any more sales or listings that I have not mentioned that somebody want to present, or anything that the agents want to talk about their listing or open house? This is the time to speak up.
Hey, Peter.
Yes.
This is Steve. I have one off the market the deal.
Okay.
It's very unique. It's an oil field with oil rights. It was in the escrow a couple years ago when it was a divorce sale. And at that time, we marketed that at about $9 million. The total reserves about 2.8 million barrels. And there are some around maybe 40 oil. Among the 40, there are 37 oil, and 2 are fresh water. One is natural gas. I don't want misleading you. All these wells are old and tired. The owner was one of the top executives. He worked for the Texaco. And when he invested in this property, Texaco noticed about that immediately. So they talked to these guys, say, hey, I give you 3 choices. One is you quit the company. One is you sell the property to Texaco. The other one is you do nothing. You just don't develop, don't do anything. So he picked up the number 3 option. So all those wells are really old and tired, and some of our so-called self-flowing well. That means you don't do any pump, the oil is going to come out. But production is really limited. But that means by saying that, that means your reserves still there. And also they have kept natural gas. Why they did that, I don't know. And I kept on asking the owner to do the survey and let me know what is the reserve over there. And when you are in a divorce, whatever husband said, wife will not agree, and it's also the other way around. So I have no idea how much the reserve of the natural gas. The husband passed away, so the property right now is in the probate, and the wife is trying to just dump it. She said she can sell this maybe for $5 million. A long time ago, we are in the escrow of, I think, $8 or $9 billion. But the company who trying to purchase the property, they try to get the improvement loan over the purchase price. And he said he can get it from Texas. It's never happened. So escrow was canceled. It's been sit over there. So now this year, the son is the attorney contact me, say they want to sell it, and they will sell at the lower price. So if anyone of interest on this,
So
I think I can negotiate.
Where's it located? Let's see.
Oh, Coringa.
Corona?
No, Coringa. Coringa is just
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
You know, Coringa is used the one of the top oil field, the standard field. That means you know who they are. They have a huge oil field over there, and next to this parcel, I think Shell owned a huge parcel. And also, if you go to the south, there are lots of oil fields. So this is some opportunity, but I don't want misleading you. You need to invest the money to do drill the new well. So
okay,
that's the
can you
market.
Can you send me the information and then I can blast it to?
Yeah, the information is outdated because husband was the one who is handling everything. Right now, husband passed away, so nobody knows anything. The information I can email to you is old one. And oh, by the way, I think if you come out a good offer, I can probably negotiate for 10% commission.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Okay.
there
All
how motivated this seller is.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you for the information.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Anybody else to have anything to add or present anything else? Okay. If not, I would like to share something with you today. It's on the market and the legal update, which I normally do every month, and I will kind of tell you what the market is like. Real estate market is like nowadays. Okay. Well, for the month of June, the existing home sale kind of dip a little bit. 270,200 units. It was compared to last year was down 2.7%, and compared to the year up to date is 0.5%. Now you can see that the median sale price for the California homes is $900,720. That's $900,720, and that is an increase of 7.5% compared to last year. And if you think that the price, the housing price is going to go down, sorry to disappoint you, but it's going up every year. And even at this kind of a slow season, the price of the house is going up, for 7.5%. Even if you're paying like 6.5 to 7% interest rate, it's still pretty good that when you get the appreciation of 7.5% per year, and that is enough to over to cover the high interest rate. So tell your buyer that, hey, just don't hesitate. If you like the house, buy the house. As they said, marry the house and date the rate. The rate always can you can always refinance later, but for the house, if you lose the opportunity, it's not going to come back again. So this is the important data for you to show them that, hey, the house is going up every year. And also the inventory is still a little short too, and there's not enough inventory in the market. That's why the house is kept the high price as it is. As for the medium day on the market, is still 18 days, which is not too bad. Meaning that if you put the listing on the market, you get an offer in 18 days, which is not bad at all. And you can say that the California home sales is down for the first half of 2024, just a little bit, and is still pretty anemic during the first half of the year. We'll see what happened beginning the second half of the year. We're already in the second half of the year right now, so hopefully the figure will be a little bit better. Now, the mortgage rate is still hovering between 6.5 to 7%. They came down a little bit recently in anticipation of the Fed going to reduce the interest rate by 25 percentage point in September. But still, the interest rate, the 30-year mortgage is still up there. But historically, it's not that bad. We used to have the interest rate 7% to 10%, and we never complain about it. But it's just because we had enjoyed such a low interest rate during the last few years of 2% to 3%. Then we come in comparison. The 6.5 is very high, but in fact, it's not very high historically. Now, the closed sales will be expected to bounce back in July, and we already approaching the end of July, and the data has not come out yet. But hopefully, the July figure will be better. At the end, they are estimating that will have a 8% increase. And also, we are experiencing some housing supply improvement. Then the inventory increased by 18.3% during the June, and so we have more selection, and the buyers has an easier time to get the house. Instead of having 20 offers, they might have like 10 or 8 offers instead of 20. So that helps out a little bit, but it's still, the market is still the seller's market, and if you're representing the buyer, it's the chance of success of getting a house is not that optimistic. But anyway, hopefully the situation will change, and I think there's more sellers willing to sell now instead of holding on to their property, because they've been holding on for it for a while already. It has been 2 years without much inventories. And if you're asking about the interest rate, whether the Fed will lower the interest rate in September or not, look at the figure in July. The chance of lowering right now, the current level is at 5.25 to 5.5, and the chance of having this going on is 93%. That means the Fed is not going to change the interest rate at all. And indeed, in July, the Fed didn't waive at all. They didn't change at all. So, but if you're talking about the September, there's a 89.6% chance that they will lower the interest rate to 5.0 to 5.25, and with meaning that the Fed might be willing to reduce the interest rate by 25 percentage point. And then if you're looking forward to November, there's about 57.6% that the interest rate will even lower, going to 4.75 to 5%, which will be like 50 percentage point lower than the current rate. So that's good news if the Fed will reduce the rate in September and November, and then that will help the market quite a bit. So let's keep our finger crossed and hopefully the interest rate will help the situation. And but if you're looking at the U.S. economy, and actually we are not in recession at all, and actually they're expanding at a faster pace than expected. That's why Jerome Powell saying that he didn't see the stagnation or inflation, and so he's not willing to reduce the interest rate too fast, even though the inflation has been coming down quite a bit. And as a matter of fact, for the last month, it came down to like 2.6%, which is still a little bit higher than what they expected to tame it to 2%, but it's not too far away, and as a matter of fact, they see the inflation rate gradually going down. But that another factor they have to look at is the U.S. economy. If the U.S. economy is going pretty well, they don't want to overheat the economy, so they don't want to reduce the interest rate too fast. So they're juggling between the inflation and the economy in order to adjust the interest rate. But nevertheless, there's a good consensus that they're going to reduce the Fed rate by 25 percentage point, hopefully this point in November. Okay. Now, so a legal update, the biggest thing that's happening in California practice is that the changes in the MLS, okay? Now, and this is a big announcement. I already emailed or e-blasted the information to you last week. And beginning August 13th, all the buyer agent compensation field in the MLS will be removed. Okay, in other words, they will not contain any fields regarding the commission. So and then if you have in any way mentioned about the compensation compensation of commissions for the buyers, and it was totally strictly prohibited. Okay, so if you have that mentioned even in the public remark, okay, anywhere in the MLS listing that you mentioned the commission, the buyer's commission, you will get a violation, and the violation will have carries a fine of $2,500. That is a very stiff penalty, okay? And they have no mercy. I'm telling you, the MLS has no mercy because they got you by the throat. Because if they suspend your privilege in the MLS listing, you cannot do business, right? You cannot have a listing. So how can you promote your business? And then you cannot get access into the MLS, and how can you try to buy property for your clients? So this is a very serious matter, and so in the next 2 weeks we will keep on reminding you, don't put anything in the MLS that relate to the buyer's commission. Okay, it's strictly prohibited, and then if you make the violation, hey, it's on your own. The company is not going to pay for you're fine. Okay, it's $2,500 a part. You know, if you have the violation, and they have no mercy at all, and there will be no warning. This without warning. In other words, they're not going to say that, hey, you shouldn't do this. You should remove it, and I give you a grace period to remove it. No, they don't give grace period. So it's very important that you go to your current listing, and proactively remove any mention of the compensation of the buyer's brokers compensation. Remove it completely, and don't have it appear in the MLS listing at all. Okay, very important. And then, in the new listing agreement, the section 2C1, there's a box you can check that the seller can compensate buyers or agents. Some compensation if the buyer is unrepresented. It's up to the seller, but it's not a dual agency. That in other words, you're not representing the seller and the buyer at the same time. You're still representing the seller, but as far as the buyer concerned, even though you help the buyer, you don't have a formal agreement with the buyer, so it's not a dual agency. Okay. Now, after the NAR settlement, after August 17, everything in the NAR settlement will be enforced. So there's no grace period. And then after that date, the representation of buyers always requires some form of BRBC, okay, either a short term or a long term. Now, if the buyer does not want the buyer's agent to represent him, then the buyer has no obligation to help the buyer. The buyer can write their own offer or do the transaction themselves. But nevertheless, the listing agent can help the buyer do a limited amount of work in the presentation. They can kind of help the buyer write the offer, but they're not representing the buyer if they don't want to sign an agreement with the listing agents. But when the listing agent is helping the buyer without the formal agreement, then that's unclear how much the listing agent can help the buyer to do the transaction. And the listing agent has to be careful too, because they really have to let the buyer know that they are not representing the buyer. There's no dual agency in that relationship. And the things that the listing agent can help the buyer is of course limited, because they have no obligation to help the buyer at all. But nevertheless, the seller can pay the listing agent extra commission if the listing agent offers to help the buyer a little bit, and it's up to the seller. And nevertheless, in any circumstances, if there's no written agreement between the buyer and the listing agent, there is no dual agency, and the listing agent has to inform this buyer and clearly indicate that the listing agent is not representing the buyer as an agent. Okay. Now, what if the buyer knows? What if the buyer's agent knows that the buyer does not have the ability to pay? I should say that I have a mistake here. And so what if the buyer's agent knows that the buyer does not have the ability to pay? And we have a long discussion in the town hall meeting last week. And this is the problem, because when you want to consummate the deal, or when you want to the buyer to write an offer to purchase the property, sometimes you kind of overzealous to persuade the buyer, hey, this is good property to buy, but nevertheless you have to pay me. Although the buyer's agent clearly knows that the buyer does not have the ability to pay. In that situation, that's a big problem because you are in violations of five what I should say, the violations of your duties to the buyer. The first violation is the ethical concern. When you help you want to enter into agreement with the buyer, you should have the buyer's best interest in mind. And if you know that they cannot perform the contract, and that's ethical violations. And then you have the legal implication of fiduciary duty, by ignoring the ability of the buyer to pay you, you are breaching the fiduciary duty. And then there's a contractual issue. If you know in the beginning that the contract is not going to be performed, the contract is going to be null and void in the beginning. And also a reputational damage too. If people knowing that they are pushing the buyer to do something that they are not able to do it financially, and this is not good either. And then lastly, you might be sanctioned by the real estate, by BRE, and and may have a lawsuit if eventually the buyer cannot, the buyer cannot buy that house because they don't have enough money to close escrow, and then you ruin the escrow, and they can come back and sue you. So this is a big question. This is something new to the real estate, and it has never been tested yet. But this is maybe possible issues of predatory practice, and it can be a big problem. So watch out and do it. If you have any questions, always call the legal hotline, or you come to talk to me, and then and see if there's any way around it. Okay. So with that, I would like to stop here and entertain any questions that you might have. A little bit over time, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, Peter.
Yeah,
questions.
Stephen.
On all these new rules, are those applied to the residential property only? How about commercials?
Well, anything in MLS. I don't
Or
care.
anything in the mail. So regardless, it's a commercial or residential.
It doesn't matter is a commercial or a residential. But
I
some
see.
of the commercial real estate, they don't put it in the
Usually we
MLS.
don't put, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
but I can
but
talk.
it's anything in the MLS, yeah, it's
Yeah, okay.
anything any mention in the commission is forbidden.
I see. Okay, now just a comment regarding the inflation, I mean the rate cut. Remember I said many times, Moody already predicted last year in July, they said Federal Reserve is going to rate cut twice. Today, I mean this year. And then earlier of the year, they modified to say 4 times. Then they cut back to 3 times, now go back to the original twice. One of the reasons, this is only whatever I got, is the reason why the Federal Reserve keep this kind of inflation rate right now at the 3 point something is one of the factors so-called OER, owner's equivalent rate. That means they did, put a simple word, they just put a survey on the rent of the owner. Say, hey, Peter, you own this house. Last year, okay, if I this out for $4,000, now this year you look at the market and say, oh, my house is worth $2 million now, so the rate is going to go higher. This OER was about 30 or 40 years ago, suggested to Federal Reserve by a Chicago professor. And this Chicago professor is the one this year keep on saying, I was wrong, I made a mistake. That one should be removed from the inflation, indicator. And he said, Europe, why they are doing that, because they don't put that into the consideration. And he said, if you remove that out, you already achieved 2%.
Oh, really?
So yeah, you can do some research on that. Maybe Andrews knows about that, sometimes they pay for you to listen to the Moody's and they pay for listen to this Peter Lenderman. They are really give you lots of very, very good information. Just a comment.
We should write to the Joe Powell and say, hey, you should take that into consideration.
Yeah, because I
That's
never
a good
know.
Comment. That's good.
Yeah, I never know about this kind of OER
I didn't know
until
about that.
last month. They have a broadcast talking about that, and every time when this professor have a broadcast, probably thousands of people in the United States listen to that.
Right. Okay, good comment. Thank you very much, Steve. Thank you.
Hey, Peter, I want to add to Steve mention about the fee involving commercial lending. Actually, we are a commercial lender ourselves, so we do work with agents, on and off. So for agents who are looking to be compensated, there's two ways they can do for commercial. I mean, mortgage is no, basically it's none. Okay. We cannot compensate any agent referring any which loan to the bank. However, for commercial lending, there's two ways. One, you can send an invoice to escrow to be compensated, but customer must agree upfront.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And two, or some commercial lenders out there that will agree to basically charge customer like 1% to 1.5%, and then when those funds get closed, and then the bank will reimburse you based on the point that you both sides agree. Okay. So there's two ways of doing that. For our bank, I mean we are very open to customers, so therefore we'll be okay for you to send an invoice to escrow for payment. Okay. However, we have to notify customer upfront.
Okay.
So he's aware of how much we pay to the agent. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Andrew. Anything else before we adjourn?
Oh, Peter, Alex.
Yes, Alex.
I've been reading a lot of stuff from the board of realtors and AR regarding this all craziness, and I'm completely confused. Quite honestly, now that I hear you talking, showing that last graphic about the issues that if I represent a buyer and he cannot pay the commission, all the kind of dangerous, the 5 points to give you, even fines, and so.
Yeah.
If in August 13 that you guys mentioned that date, so how do we, if I'm doing an open house and I have a buyer from there, so how do the thing is gonna work then?
We have gone through some of it the last meeting. I don't know whether we were in the meeting or not, but
no, I did not.
Some of it in the open house thing. But if you still have questions, come to talk to me personally, and also Michelle, or come to the training this Friday.
Yes.
You will have a lot of your issues clarified this Friday. Okay.
I guess I have to be there because I'm completely confused. I'm
you come
from NAR, from the board of realtors, and there's a bunch of trash. But then I don't know what to do.
this Friday. Okay, come to the training room. All right. I know it's very confusing. A lot of agents are kind of nervous about it, especially when $2,500 fine. You have to be careful. Once they levy that on you, it's very difficult to get rid of that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Have a great week, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. Have a nice week.
Bye.
I'll see you next week. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
everybody.
Peter.
Thank you. We'll see you Friday.
Bye, Michelle. See you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.